This is a tough one, but it should be talked about. And I think this really does open up debates instead of opening up the back door of a Kala Dala. Had to put it in. But let's talk about it. This is by far the most talked about thing in Pakistan right now. Like, everyone's talking about it. You go to tea stalls, you go to restaurants, and people are getting louder and louder. It used to be that people would talk with hushed tones and, behind closed doors. People are getting louder. And you'll observe that there's less criticism and more hate. Hate that is directed towards the Pakistan military. And you know what? This hate is coming from all this news about the torture and, well, with Imran Khan being in jail, a lot of the leadership that went through jail, some of them still in, and the torture stories and the stories about the hidden cameras and everything. And there's a lot of it, and the people are really, really upset. So who are these people? Who is the Pakistan military? What's their thing? What's their deal? Why? Who are they? What are they? Why do they do what they do? And it's important to understand what the military is and who they really are. And I really think that the military is misunderstood. But I'll, give me a chance to make my case. It's misunderstood because we're hating and criticizing something that we really don't fully understand. And let's break it down. So who are they? Basically, you've got people in the military that are just normal Pakistanis. They're people just like you and me. They go to the PMA, they wear the uniform, but they were Pakistanis before, they're Pakistanis in uniform, and they're Pakistanis when they retire. There's nothing, they're not Martians, they're not aliens, they're just people, normal Pakistani people. One of the things that is different about them is they've got this heightened sense of patriotism. And you know what, I get it, because you know what, if somebody tells me that you'll be posted to the corner of this earth on top of a hill where the chances of you dying by a bullet is less than frostbite or, going crazy, talking about Siachen, by the way, is more like, it's just madness. So you have to love the motherland to sacrifice so many things, not being able to see your family, your kids for months on end, or being posted to Vanna or Waziristan or any of those areas. So there is this heightened sense of patriotism, and there's a sense of honor in their job, more than money. Its honor is always there. And they have a belief in frontier justice as well sometimes. And I would just try to point out to that video clip that went viral, I think it was last year or early this year, where this young girl goes up to the army chief and says that this Vadera in her area opens up the water and it floods the fields, and he says, you know what, send a message to the Abu Dhabi and yada, yada, yada. And that is the sense of a heightened sense of justice. They do believe that they're the judge, jury, and executioner, but they're Pakistanis who've been given this power. They're normal Pakistanis who've been given this power of this uniform. And they see injustice, and they see there is a need to do something about it. And sometimes, yes, they might overstep their jurisdictions, but those lines have never been drawn. So they're just normal Pakistanis. And as normal Pakistanis, when you see something that's not right, sometimes we might not have the courage or the authority or the backing of certain people to do something about it. As civil society, we have failed over and over and over again. So yes, when there is injustice in the society, a military official, yes, does feel that sense that there should be justice. Again, don't hate on me. I'm trying to explain to you what a military official is. Now, what do they do? And what do they do in Pakistan? And it's very important to understand that they have been involved in politics since the very beginning. For us, for the newer generation, which by the way is a very good time, this time right now, that you've got the massivest population of young Pakistanis who are educated, politically active and aware and well informed, and they know how the world works. And they know, how a military in a country should be and what a democracy should be. But this idea or this expectation that now that I'm well aware and now I know how the world works, I want to apply this to our country and this should happen overnight is kind of silly. And it really brings us to what is the youth supposed to do? And I have to say, predominantly the youth supports Imran Khan. I know some might disagree, but it's varied levels of liking or support. But the youth really predominantly is siding with Imran Khan. But what are they supposed to do? As a young Pakistani, as a young adult, are you supposed to hate? Are you supposed to be providing constructive criticism? Are you supposed to be staying within the system and knowing the level of criticism that you can do, consistently trying to fight, like Iman Mazari? She's an absolute legend. It doesn't get talked about that much. Well, it does, but it's not that glamorous because, not a big person is in jail, just normal Pakistanis who disappear every now and then, and that's an actual problem where people who are absolutely haven't done anything to deserve to be picked up, and there's stories, horrible stories, and people like Iman Mazari staying within the system, trying to fight it over and over, going to the courts, believing that there is someone who will give justice. So are we supposed to be like those people, or are we supposed to be like the people who've potentially left Pakistan and just keep on hating for the sake of hate, and making fun and calling names because Asim Munir does this, or the DGISI is this, or the DGISPR is this? And my question to a lot of PTI supporters, just like me, who supports Imran Khan and who wants Imran Khan to be out, to lead us, is, are we really helping the case? Are we really helping his case? Yes, the leader has taken a extreme stance where he does not want to talk to any of the political opponents. Fine, he wants to talk to the big boss, absolutely. But is the hate really helping by the PTI supporters? And I think that's why the firewall is going up as well, obviously. But I think the level that it has reached is quite concerning. I saw a post on X where there was a story about a young, it was a cadet or a young army officer who passed away. He drowned, and it's a custom that if you're in uniform and you pass away, you're considered shaheed. Now, which makes sense. He was being trained to be in the military, or he was exercising to protect you. And it's not just in the army, it's in the police, it's in all services. And the comments were just were horrible. And these are Pakistani citizens hating on a poor person who lost his life serving his country. Now, that hate might actually be not specifically at this poor young boy who lost his life, maybe at the leadership. But are we really thinking that this criticism of criticizing just for the sake of criticizing is really helping the case? And I really think this should brings us to, but why then, the military, why did the divorce happen? Why did they part ways? Imran Khan and the military were very close. And you know what? There's speculation could be the Buzdar situation, who, by the way, has vanished and you can't see him. And you know what? That man should be standing outside Adiala jail with a danda protesting Imran Khan's, being arrested for all that Imran Khan did for him. The guy saw the door, saw an opportunity, and disappeared. I haven't even seen him. But could be him. Could be that the military was not very happy with Buzdar being the CM. Could be that the Americans didn't want him. And that brings us to the code. And the military has a code where they really don't want to interfere in everything, but they want to have a say in how the country has a relationship with the US, with India, with Afghanistan, with Saudi, with China. And these are the predominantly major players in our foreign relations, but that's where they want to have their say. Maybe that Imran Khan thought that he does not need advice or assistance or need to consult them, and that's his prerogative. But that brings us to the question, which is, as a Pakistani youth PTI supporter, what are you supposed to do? What is the aim? What do you want? Do you want to keep on hating on the military, keep on cussing and insulting, and keep on listening to those Pakistani journalists or analysts outside of Pakistan who are going and criticizing the military to lengths where it's never been journalism that way. That journalism has never been like that, but we've stooped to that level. But do you really want to keep on doing that and trolling and hating on your military or your military officers, young officers, or just like me and you? Or do we want what every sensible Pakistani wants, a strong government with the support of a strong military, so the government is strong enough to make certain very difficult decisions? And those decisions could be the reforms in FBR, the reforms in your custom houses, the reforms in the police department, the DMG, everywhere. That is what we need. That is what we want right now. No matter who you get as the prime minister, there's always going to be systematic corruption, always, because the whole system is. And this brings us to people like Shabir Zaidi. I love the guy. He's got so much knowledge about taxes and FBR, and he shits on everyone right now. He had the opportunity as an FBR chairman to make those changes. He couldn't do it. His reason is that he was getting a lot of threats. Fair enough. It's quite ironic that he's gone to criticizing the mullahs and a lot of other things and still criticizes the military. So now there are no threats. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is that we need a government that is so strong with the help of the military that can make very difficult decisions that will not be popular. There will be resistance. There are big mafias who will not let you do the changes that we really want to move forward in the right direction. There are big lobbyists that will not allow it as well. So what is the aim for the PTI? Do we want Imran Khan out in making his government be friends with the military, ask them to help develop those institutions? Or do we want him to stay in jail and life goes on? We never thought that Imran Khan would be in jail, but people are going to their jobs, people are eating, people are sleeping, people are dying, babies are being born, life goes on. For a stronger country, you need a strong government that can make unpopular decisions that are good for us in the long run, but you really, really want a strong military that supports you in those situations.